I was working 1 minute and I was on the floor the next. She realized I wasn't breathing, that I didn't have a pulse, and began doing CPR on me. I can't thank this woman enough for what she did for me. May 22nd, 2014, I was about to go see a person that we work with, and I had stopped at a local coffee shop prior to send out a couple emails. I was in there, I had my little coffee, I had my whole setup, my laptop, my cell phone, everything, and mid-morning, I collapsed.
911, what's your emergency?
There was a person at the coffee shop that morning who saw what had happened to me, and she started performing CPR immediately after I collapsed. A certain amount of time later, my first responders showed up and they began CPR and using an AED on me to help start my heart back up again. What had happened was I'd experienced a cardiac arrest.
They were taking her to the hospital as the MPs were calling me at my office and telling me about the situation. And then basically I just grabbed my keys and ran out. Scary, very, very scary. We first met, we were 22. And I actually just got out of the Marine Corps and then moved back home. And we met through mutual friends. Ever since then, we've been basically inseparable. You know, it's just, I feel so comfortable around her, and she's, you know, she's my number one, so there's nothing else in the world above her. I couldn't imagine being without her. I didn't have any details whatsoever. I get to the hospital, I mean, she's just being kind of wheeled into one of the rooms. The first thing I see is them, you know, trying to put a breathing tube in, and to me, you know, that is a bad sign. It was me and her for like 7 years, and it just, so.
There was that chance.
Yeah.
That it wasn't gonna be us.
What they did is they put her in basically a medically induced coma, and then kept her basically hypothermic. And I guess that's a way that they help try to preserve brain function.
When they had me in the coma, what they couldn't tell them was whether or not I would wake up to be the same person I was before. Not knowing who was going to wake up had to have been one of the hardest things that any of them went through. Not knowing if I was still going to be me when I woke up for him. And they tell me he didn't sleep the whole time. I do remember, and I don't know where in the wake-up process this was, I remember asking all of them what happened. I went and I asked my mom, I said, what happened? And she said, Sarah, you know, your heart just gave out. And I thought at the moment that she was lying to me.
It was amazing, especially once, like, I knew that there wasn't much damage. You know, she could still talk, she could still move just fine. You know, obviously there's gonna be the little things like the memory loss and stuff like that, but for the most part, I mean, she was like 99% the same.
I was still his wife. I was still the woman that he married. I imagine that'd be pretty relieving. The doctors did tell me they had a suspicion that it was long QT syndrome. They had done an echocardiogram there and realized that I had a prolonged QT interval. And so that's really where they were thinking. And they knew that long QT syndrome can cause cardiac arrest, which was exactly what happened. I've said it before, I said, learn CPR, learn how to use an AED, because again, the gift you're giving someone by taking that chance and using it is immeasurable. It's priceless. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to learn CPR if they really understood the gift they gave another person. I am expecting our first baby, so it hasn't stopped me from making a family, and I firmly believe that I maintain this quality of life because of my first responders, because of the woman who did CPR on me that day. The gift she gave me in doing that CPR immediately when she started it, she gave me my life. So I would just like to thank her for giving me that gift, because she gave me my life, my family, my future. She gave me all that back in a matter of minutes. The reason why I did come to you was because I know, you're the American Heart Association. You do the research, you follow up. You are the reasons why anyone knows this much about CPR. So of course, I want to share my story and reach out to you guys and give you this example of how your research has affected someone, an individual's life. And so I want to encourage people to donate to the American Heart Association, because what they're donating essentially is what saved my life. The donations that they're giving is the reason why I'm sitting here. At the bottom line, that's why. Knowing that, I want to reach out. I want to help others learn CPR. I want to encourage others to do that. And the best way to do that is through the American Heart Association.